Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session on change management. This is a series where I am walking through some of my experiences in change management. This is based on some of the courses that I have been taking with MIT and how I have been implementing them, my experiences, my learnings, my failures, everything. So, today we're going to quickly talk about what happens when there is no urgency to change, which is kind of where I am situated right now. So, if you remember the stakeholder chart and the entire thing that I did, I am 1, 2, 3, 4 levels down. So, this is a change sponsor, and this is where I am, and how I can bring up a sense of urgency which I share with a sense of no urgency that the change sponsor has got. How do I influence this, and what are the tools that I've got in my arsenal? So, this is kind of quickly going to be a topic about that. Now, if you remember, we actually talked about our stakeholders and talked about who they were and what they were. Now, one of the first things that I actually had to do was I actually had to understand where my stakeholders were in terms of influence and engagement. Again, this is your typical thing. This is everything is low, everything is high, no high engagement, but low influence, high influence, but low engagement, right? So this is your typical metric. It's a good idea not to waste your energy here. You will have a lot of such people that actually have low engagement and low energy. Do not try to go after them. Try to go after people that have high influence and high energy. And this is basically where you are. You should also be careful because people with high energy but low influence will try to drain you. So kind of keep them in an equilibrium. They are really necessary. They are your allies, but keep it in an equilibrium. Do not lose energy in that. And you have got people with high influence and low energy. Try to see how you can get them here so that you can actually gain the help that you need. Now you need to have a communication strategy for each one of these three groups and ignore this group. Now, why am I talking about this? In any sense where there is a no urgency that is being shared by your people, they are probably here. And you're going to have people that share your sense of urgency, which if you remember was here and a little bit of here, they are going to be here, right? So you need to see how you can take these two stakeholder groups and move them toward here. I tend to call the people in this stakeholder group my coalition of support. We need them primarily because they are going to help us understand how to go with the path towards success. You will have both detractors and supporters here. You need to figure out how to form a coalition with both of them. Even if they are detractors, if they understand that you are listening to them and you are handling some of their concerns, they are going to turn around and help you out. Your supporters, they will always be really energized to take your message to the next level. So that is the most important thing. Now, where am I in this process? I have just finished at this level and I'm kind of trying to influence at this level. And how am I doing that? So the most important tool that we have got, believe me or not, believe me on this, it might be the simplest tool, but it is the most important tool. It's personal interviews. You need to talk to them and you need to walk with them and walk through them as to the reason for your agency and the reason why they need to share it. You also need to provide them with some tools and some formulae for them to move towards a good viable plan so that they can take it to the actual change sponsor. It is not an easy task, and sometimes you might actually be alone in this journey. But this is something that you have to do. So the first step is personal interviews. The second step is basically another important tool, which is around, a kind of a, let me call it like this, a team meeting or a town hall, right? You need this primarily because you need to get all the team together and kind of try to make sure that you understand it. The third tool is, this is a very controversial tool, but it has worked out a lot well for me, is external consultant. Now, if you remember in this case, I am the external consultant. Even though I am right here, I am the external consultant. So sometimes when it comes to an external consultant with better, case studies and other things that they actually have from other industries and other, other experiences, it will be taken a little bit well. Keep in mind that you are going to have some issues with your detractors. They will not be so easily taken up with anything that comes from outside the organization. So you have to work with them, work out, around them, but work with them. This is a very laborious process. This process for me has taken around 3 months now. I started with around 5 to 7 personal interviews. It took me a lot of personal interviews, it took me a lot of these things. We now are having one meeting per week. Initially, some of my meetings nobody came, and then I had to actually let control go and give it to one of my supporters here so that he can actually bring in more people. Now, these conversations are happening a lot more better, and we are actually getting in a good amount of support even from my detractors. I am now at this level where I'm basically coming up with a specific set of structures so that the organization can even function after I am gone, or any of the other external consultants can go. So this is kind of where I am today, and I'm moving towards what I would call a program structure. Now there are various ways to do it. So I am doing it in a very collaborative way, and hence it takes time. I have been given a period of around 1.5 months to kind of get this done, and unfortunately that's where my stint is going to end this time. But I'm really excited with the opportunity that I've got to kind of try this thing. I can go through in detail in each one of the conversations the next time as to what am I covering in the personal interview, what did we try in the team meetings, and what am I doing as an external consultant, and how is the program structure coming up. Now, bear in mind that the team meetings were not successful initially. It took us 6 weeks before our team meetings were successful. My personal interviews again was the same thing. It was not initially successful. It was initially a failure. People refused to realize that there was an urgency here. But I have been able to turn the tide around after 3 months of persuasive effort. So that's basically what I wanted to share with all of you today. Thank you.